I felt very safe in Mexico for our vacation this year, and I have some safety tips that will help you feel safe as well. We did not cancel our trip to Mexico, and here's why. I have some tips from the Mexican government, I have some safety tips from the United States State Department, and then I have some common sense things you can do to stay safe while you're on your vacation. The Mexican government does recommend that you consider downloading the app Guest Assist if you're flying to Cancun, Cozumel, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, or other areas in the Quintana Roo state. Here's an emergency number contact to put in your phone if you are flying to Mexico. I have some new safety tips that I thought of since I got my haircut the other day, so I am going to pop in throughout this video and share the things that I've learned. An important safety tip when traveling anywhere is to stay alert in 4 locations: the airport, when you are traveling, in your hotel lobby, and in restaurants. When you're in the airport searching for your transportation company, we are using the tip to stay alert. We are keeping an eye on our bags, our documents, and other valuables are secure, as well as our phone. You may want to print out information so that that's what you're holding and not your phone, that someone could swipe. One safety tip is do not pack all of your cash in one location or only on your person. I have a video that I'm going to link for you about anti-theft tips, and near the end of it is ways that you can stash your cash in different locations throughout your carry-on bags. And some are hidden in plain sight. The embassy suggests that you avoid areas that have illicit activities, but here is what we need to consider. There are no signs that say, hey, bad things are going to happen in this place, so come here. You have to use your common sense and prevent problems from happening the best you know how. I felt safe inside the airport as well as finding my transportation. And here's what I mean. Book your transportation ahead of time. We used TAG, and their other name is Mexico Travel Solutions. So on their sign in the airport, I was supposed to look for my name and TAG or MTS or Mexico Travel Solutions. One tip is that it was abbreviated. So the sign with my name had lowercase MTS on it instead of TAG or the full name of the transportation company. One tip is to download the WhatsApp because they texted me a picture of the map of the airport where I was supposed to go after my flight to Mexico to find the correct and safe transportation company. Since I did land during the day, I also felt safe inside and outside of that Cancun airport. It was very crowded, which I appreciated for helping me feel safe. I knew where I was going, I looked confident, and I just kept looking. I printed out my documentation and emails from this company so that I did not have to depend on my phone in case it didn't wake up or connect to whatever 5G tower is there. 2 tips for when you arrive in Mexico is do not forget to book your reservation for transportation to return to the airport at the end of your vacation, and then also pack enough cash for tips for the van drivers. One thing we suggest is to get $50 of ones and then a couple of $5 bills that you can tip people with, because when we got cash out at the ATM at the end of our trip, they only gave us a $50 bill, and we didn't know how to break it in that all-inclusive resort to smaller amounts. If you go on an excursion in Mexico, you're going to need those dollar bills for the van drivers as well, and the tour guides. I always forget about cash for the tour guides. They are depending on our tourism dollars and may not get paid as they should. And then you may want to also have cash for the bartenders at your resort. Another safety tip for traveling to Mexico this year is to stay in a resort location so that you do not have to leave that property, because they have security guards for those locations. If your family is not staying at an all-inclusive resort in Mexico, there are some safety tips that you can do before you even choose a hotel. You're going to research the restaurants near the hotel if you don't want to eat there every day. You're going to research the distance of the hotel to that restaurant. You're going to search that hotel and see what kind of security measures they have in place for that property. And you're also going to see what kind of transportation that they can get you to go to different places off of your hotel property. And then another tip is to stay in groups. Do not go anywhere by yourself. Stay in groups. Book a ladies' tour if you are a solo traveler. Another tip for safety in Mexico is do not go out after dark. I want you to think like you have a teenager and you're telling them common sense safety tips. Another tip for safety is to always keep watch over your drink so that no stranger puts something dangerous in there. We also felt very safe in Cancun by booking an excursion through our all-inclusive resort. I've always thought that they were like swindlers or gonna overcharge me, but they are relying on their relationship with that resort to have a top-notch excursion for you. And we drove in a van that picked us up at the resort 45 minutes away to go to a cenote tour where we are in the forest areas, but it was very safe. We felt very safe. Research those tours if that helps you feel better on Pinterest, on Instagram, or YouTube even. Read the comments on TripAdvisor. It does help you know the tours to not take. We really appreciated that the resort set up our transportation. We left our passports in our hotel safe, and we always have. One travel hack is you could tape it underneath the desk in your hotel room or underneath the bathroom counter, for instance, but do not forget to pack them when you're done. You can use washi tape or like blue painter's tape. You can tape that together and that way you can pack it easily and have it. Our resort had staff that was checking the license plates of the transportation, dropping people off, and a gated area as well. And then if we wanted to go on the beach, from our resort, there was an officer standing there patrolling who went down and who came up, having to say your name and your room number, so that helped us also feel safer. And I will say that there were peddlers on the beach, but they did not like bother you. They were not a nuisance. They were just standing there, hi, buy this necklace or this thing, and we just said no and kept walking. Like they never came over to where we were seated at all. If we have not met yet, my name is Laurie, and I've gone to Mexico a lot of times over the 20 years that I've been married to an airline pilot. Now, he flies to Mexico a lot, especially because we are based here in Houston. He thought of a tip that I wanted to share with you, and that is not in Cancun, but in other locations throughout Mexico, it takes about 10 minutes when you turn your phone on or take it off of airplane mode upon your airplane landing for it to connect to a cell tower. So be sure to connect it to a cell tower as soon as you can turn it on upon landing. In your vacation spot again. Our State Department has a list of all the emergency numbers in other countries that I will have for you as well in the first comment down there or in the paragraph description box right above the shirts that I designed for this channel. If you are going into the Cancun airport, the food at the Margaritaville Jimmy Buffett restaurant is fantastic. We got nachos in Cancun, and we live in Texas. The restaurant was very crowded, but the food came very fast. And then there's one other restaurant that was it looked really good, and I'll try to find it and list it down there below as well. Here's a very helpful tip on how to save these websites or important phone numbers if you're traveling to another country, and that is to use the notes section of your phone. When you open up a new note, you're going to press down on the screen until you see the camera, and then press that, and then insert a picture, or you can paste a website or any text or important phone number, like the contact phone number I have. I would also have those printed on a piece of paper as well. One other tip that you can do is sign up for our State Department STEP program. They send alerts for countries like Mexico to keep you updated with their information about the conditions regarding your safety before you even go, as well as they have your email so they can send you an email during your trip. Like for instance, my husband was supposed to fly into Mexico City and his flight got canceled because of volcanic ash that was occurring. So they will let you know that, as well as your airline would let you know that the day before. Now, if you need some hacks to pack in only a carry-on suitcase, be sure to not miss that video right there. And I hope you feel safer. If you have any other safety tips that you have heard or learned or read somewhere, please list them in the comments so that it will all be up-to-date tips for traveling to Mexico this year. Thanks for your time.